I should give it to the veterans on. Take them all out of here because you can't wear them all at one time.
How many grades you got
All
in there?
those beautiful veterans out there. All the university.
You on university? Wow.
Old.
Move it.
Kind of white flag.
Right. Wow.
Hello, everyone. So I wanted to come on and share some love, to spread some time, to share some good energy with you guys. I am literally taking off my makeup, and I know I used to do those tutorials with you guys a long time ago, but I'm only coming on to answer the question that I received earlier. Now, I am in the state of Arkansas, and I've been showing you guys how their martial military, how they're designed in this certain area. And if you guys go to my website and click on become a member, I'm going to start giving you guys the templates and the designs so you're able to spot that in your particular area. So again, go to my website and then become a member. And as the membership fills up, then I'm going to start giving you guys free templates on various topics that I used to give in the community. So I am appreciative of all that stuff. I don't know, it's a subwoofer somewhere. It's one of those devices where they can play all the radios in the area. So like if you're in a small town, you're able to know everybody's business and they're able to commute with signs and symbols and stuff like that without talking, and they talk in code names. That's all it is. And it's so cute when they actually do it. It's like, oh, you're really talking in code like I'm not understanding the code or something. So I'm enjoying the word witchery. Never enjoy a small community where everybody knows everybody. And that is final. And then if you're giving like an actual compliment, they're not able to take a compliment. It is so horrible. You can be giving someone a sincere compliment and they take it the wrong way. It's like, dang, you can't even take a compliment? Well, let me down talk you then. And then if you down talk, they're upset. Hey, Mr. Mulatto. How are you? I don't like your science project. Okay, so you guys know I've been doing this for like 6 years now. I did this particular research project in 2022, and I still won my case too. So I'm redoing the same one, but with different people, because they were so upset that I won the case in 2022. So we're connecting the dots all the way to 2020 so that I can turn it over to the feds. You know what I'm talking about? Well, no, they really want me to be someone I'm not. So it justifies why I didn't want them in my life. Especially my kid's dad, who is never there. But he wanna play the good guy, you know. It is so funny because I have a whole staff of people that know that you weren't there that were able to keep my kids when they weren't there. So yeah, they taught me to play their game so that they can see what the game was so we can do the update. It's like, oh yeah, we need to see some financial records. I'm like, oh, those are easy. You know, I can easily create them and justify them through my bank, you know. And then the driver's record, it's like, okay, do you need my driver's record or do you want my Uber record? Do you want my Uber record for the past 3 years? I mean, so funny. And HIPAA is like, oh, okay, well, this document that you signed, it allows me to bring in other personnel outside of law and enjoy them talking and not me talking, you know? But I wish that this whole timing thing, yes, I'm in the shower, you guys. It is therapeutic. Don't laugh. So it's funny because in this neighborhood, the homeowners association, and you can see where the homeowners association has that cyborg at. Because if you go in various areas in this town, you won't have any signal bars. You'll have one signal bar. But if you go in the public, like at the gas station or Walmart or McDonald's or the universities, you'll have all your network bars. They need to call the homeowners association the home records association. I mean, this town don't take care of their houses anyway. Beautiful houses, like big two-story houses. They're too busy playing games using electronics instead of using electronics to build and update the houses and construction. But they tore down like some historic buildings, like the old schools. They did tear down the old schools and built new ones. Well, I did a research project on 8 various schools in Arkansas, Georgia, and Texas. Well, no, they're always trying to silence them. I told them, I said, it's when I'm silent that you should fear. You know, you should fear when I'm silent, not when I'm talking. No, I'm just going to say, you know, this is a hate crime. And if I need to press charges right here in the court, I would like to press charges in the court for a hate crime that was organized. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. Dr. Jarvis did an excellent job, though. I'm glad I had training. Hey, how are you? How are you? How was your day? You know, back in the day, I used to get paid just to go live with you guys. Now I got a whole system blocking my system so I can't get a lot of views. And they're like, okay, just go get a regular job, you know? It is so funny. I mean, I'm laughing out loud. It's like they're really that dumb. It works only on people that don't have the education, that wasn't educated in it. And earlier, you guys, we said that we're going to use the word disadvantage, right? But that sounds so masculine. Do you guys want to do book studies? We can also do the Bible study. I think we did that last week. Some of you guys have reached out to me via comments, and yeah, a lot from my phone and my emails. When you're in this state, it's best to go in office. But when you're going to these places, if you don't like people following you and showing up at those places or even tracking your cell phone, make sure you cut your phone off. It'd be too funny. They're like, you're having secret meetups. What do you mean secret meetups? You mean I turn my phone off? I don't have to be glued to my phone all day? Sometimes you need to take at least 72 hours off of your phone for your phone to naturally reset itself. So you never know what is over your home, the neighborhood, or in your phone to censor your profiles. So you guys can Google. If you go on my the list of people that I am following, I've been working with those people in the past since 2018. So some of those readers, those personnel, yeah, they are from out of state. Oh no, I'd never name drop unless I need to explain something personally. And even then, I'm coding. No, I never see myself as a leader. I believe in all hands on deck. I believe in all hands on deck. That's how I was trained. That's how I was raised. All hands on deck. And delegate. And delegate. So it's always all hands on deck, delegate. What you can't get done, delegate. Ask someone else to do it. No, when I was a supervisor, I had an open door policy, and I made sure my employees had the training because I didn't like getting my ears barked off when something happened. Say if documents wasn't submitted on time and signatures and stuff wasn't written on the documents and stuff like that. Well, the people who are over that, they're not getting barked at because the people in the higher level positions don't need to talk to them. They need to talk to me. Brittany, what is this? Well, I need for you to go and talk to them. No, a lot of people are like, we don't understand why you go online. When you made thousands of dollars and now all of a sudden it's no longer working. No, it's not you. It's a system. It's a system breaching your system. And whenever you think you have it fixed and it messes up again, it's like, oh, this is too funny. But it only occurs in Arkansas. So if it's occurring in your state, please drop what state you're in. Well, it is one of the top 5 poverty states and low IQ. Yes. So I'm pretty sure if I go in my trail walk or run tomorrow, they'll have some stupid forward object on the trail to say, "Hey, we watch your videos. We need for you to shut up," or "I don't like your videos." I'm like, I'd rather you tell me so I can just sue your ass, for even approaching me. But it is so fun because it's amazing to see how those humans share their dislike. It's like we're only sharing it because it is scientific research. So don't shoot the messenger, right? Well, no, I've been through worse than this. I've been through worse. So if I've climbed out a worse position than this, then I know I'll be pretty much back on top. No. So when I did my terroristic threatening techniques that I taught, yeah. Well, those who are not up to date on law or don't want to see what that is in law, or they'll do it regardless as long as it's not spoken of to the right people. Hey, hey, hey. I'm just ready to give all the case reportings to the right people. It's been a long, what is it? Almost 24 months? Well, no, it's not. It haven't even been 22 months yet. All they did was slow down me becoming a doctor. I should have been done July 2025, but my family is so fucking trashy. And excuse my language, I've never cussed this much since I've been in this town. But they fit well in a certain culture. So they need me away so they can trash me from afar and they can keep their withstanding in their community. So I'm writing a good book on this too in the near future. It's like I don't even care for your death threats, okay? Like death, what? Who's afraid of death other than the people who haven't lived right? When I die, my name is gonna be what? Brittany Henry, Master of Science, beloved mother, innovator. I've done more at age 39 than people have done in their life. Though they may have the materials to show what they've been doing, they can't take those materials with them when they die. So what if I die, my legacy I'll leave behind is how much you guys stole from me. When you take care of your kids for so many years and somebody finally gets their life together, they're no longer on drugs and alcohol, right? Now I want to be a dad after 10 years, or now I want to see my kid after 12 years. And then they want to say, "Oh, you see how she act? This is why I didn't want to be around her." And they'll say it to people who are at their educational level or their spiritual level. So those people can be like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." You never know how many dads out here who, vibe with other dads who have not taken care of their kids when they were young, you know. Well, I was young back then. I didn't know. No, that's not an excuse. A mother doesn't get to say, oh, I don't want to be a mother and go 10 years and then, ooh, all of a sudden I want to be a mom. Let me go set my kid's father up and take my kids. So that's kind of the situation that I've been going through. So luckily, I caught on to this in 2022, where my mom and my kid's dad lawyer was trash talking me. Well, my mom and my kid's dad was trash talking me, and I'm like, how are they even trash talking me? I don't even know them. But it's like, no, they should trash talk me because that keeps me safe because I don't know them. Some of these trash talking sessions, I'm so amazed at what I've done and what I ain't did. What they should have been doing is saying how many times Brittany asked me to be a father and I ain't want to be. How many times she asked me for help financially and I ain't want to do it. What is that? Emotional and financial abuse, right? So luckily, when you have this all in documentation, it's like, are y'all fucking kidding? This is a hate crime that is organized. They're like, you're the one on trial. No, you guys are fucking amazing, amazing little devils. But yeah, and this is how they drain your Oshun, your Ogun, your soul. They try to break your soul. They try to break your faith. They don't want you to have faith in God. They only have faith in God when it suits them on certain days. Luckily, I don't have to heal, I just have to reveal. We are in this day and age where we don't have to heal, we have to reveal. Again, make sure you guys wear your facial mask to protect your respiratory system in the areas that you go in public. If people aren't adding to your soul's growth, they're taken from it. Be aware of how many blessings that fall through when you know it should have been blessed and bestowed upon you. When you have blessing blockers, it's because there's a family that know how to, yeah. I don't do that. You know what I'm talking about? No. So anything that I talk about, I give an example of an experience in my life, but you can search many doctors, research findings, and you see I'm only giving you guys my expertise of what I've studied and experienced. I would be getting paid just to provide you guys my opinion. But when I'm working in the hospitals, the psychiatric hospitals, I'm working to, of course, take care of my kids, right? But also to fund my business, to flip that money. The hardest thing in the world is to watch, our justice system not have higher level educated individuals in there processing the daily workflow in a timely manner. So it's always amazing to see the revenue cycles of small businesses as well as the state business schedule. So people like, we messed up your calculations. Well, no, those are not my calculations. Those are the state and local calculations. So you didn't mess up my calculations. You were revealed that the state and the local calculations is what you tapped into. When you're on a global scale, your global scale rating outranks your local. So, and you'll see why there's a lot of influencers and celebrities moving from the different states. Like even Oprah stated here recently that she wanted to move across seas, you know? It's like you have acres. You shouldn't have any problem, right? These people will tap into her staff and she'll have problems with the staff, right? You never know who they need to pay on the inside to keep something on a hush until they feel like dealing with it, you know? I can't believe my mom tried to take my kids so she can get some food stamps in her house. But that's amazing because she probably getting food stamps on my brother. She's already using his Social Security and his Section A. I'm like, I laughed out loud when I figured out she's using the Section A to actually pay her mortgage. She used her address on his information. So when they cut the check, she's able to get it and she pays for her mortgage or something like that. You never know. These people are crooked. So it's not wrong when you have to create a system for yourself. I understand that. She created a system that was working for her, and anybody who gets in the way of that system, she's going to make sure their life is a living hell, right? As I mean, that's just anybody, right? That's just anybody you come in contact with, right? It's called survival of the fittest, Darwinian theory. And I love when people like, you're the one who have a Freudian slip. It's like, oh, I introduced them to new terms. God, I'm good. I'm great to be impactful. Insert this. I always insert to upgrade, not to downgrade. I will never want to downgrade anyone. That's against my religion. I don't ever want to downgrade anybody. And when you need others to teach the lesson, God will send the right people in for them people to learn that lesson, whatever lesson you need. If they didn't learn the lesson through you, God will send someone to teach you a lesson. And if it's not a lesson to upgrade your life, and it's not sent for God. So if it doesn't upgrade your lifestyle, it's never sent from God. It's always to take you back, not to move you forward. Always invest your good energy. And when you see your good energy multiplying, you'll know. I'm gonna create a digital course with training modules, but I'm not gonna create it while the justice system is in my system, trying to figure out what they can steal. Because I'm telling you, family will bring them in after the justice system has stolen from them for so many years, and they're tired of seeing God blessing you. They're tired of seeing you level up in your career. They're tired of seeing you level up materially. So they bring their system that has had them down in life into your life, right? I just know that whatever I've done, I will never do it to anybody. I mean, not what I've done, but what I've witnessed. I will never do. True power is what you do with what has been done to you. There is no such thing as revenge. No, true power is what you do with what has been done to you. That's true power. That's true freedom. That's freedom. Let me not say power. That's freedom. Freedom, true freedom, is what you do with what has been done to you. That's freedom. Let's throw power out. That's freedom. I would rather be free in the mind, body, and soul than be tied to power struggles, you know? The worst energy in the world is a power struggle. So, you guys, I've been experimenting with root beer. I have never had root beer since I was young, which I had a root beer float. But there are occult practices and hoodoo voodoo practices that you can utilize with root beer, right? We're getting to the root of the problem, stop drinking beer, right? But root beer does not have barley in it, nor wheat, right? But it's really good. It tastes like a creamsicle. All right, so things you can control: your daily habits and routines, your level of effort and commitment, your choices and decision making, your self care and well being, your thoughts and self talk, your emotional response, how you spend your time, the media that you consume, your contribution to causes you support. There are a lot of causes that I am getting ready to start supporting. I mean, I'm going to have them linked on my social media platform so you guys can take a look at them. Okay, so boundaries and who you will allow in your life, the pursuit of personal growth and learning, your kindness and compassion towards others, your goals and the steps you take to achieve them, your level of gratitude and appreciation, your environment and the spaces you create, your creativity and problem solving, your responses to feedback and criticism. I am absolutely a lover of criticism. You know, I've always been my own worst critic, but it's amazing to receive criticism from another because it allows you to receive where their consciousness is. And I always tell you guys, never choose from A or B. Always take from A and B and create C, right? Your financial decision and saving. So that's one of the top main things that I'm having to recreate for myself since my, you know, I'm tired of saying since other people, you know, it's the worst thing to ever have done is your life stolen from you, and then you have to create a new life, you know? And I'm trying to tell you, I cannot wait to finish this case up so that I can officially sue. Your commitment to self improvement and growth. So if I don't sue, they'll just keep doing it to other women in Arkansas. But I'm so grateful for martial law. All right, you guys. So I'm going to read to you a passage that I wrote for this new book that I'm getting ready to sit down and get off. So we were talking about suffering, and I've always stated that suffering is a choice, right? So I stated we may be disappointed deeply in our sufferings by the failings of the world around us and by our own shortcomings. These disappointments are real. There's nothing disappointing in creating the life that you deserve to live, to have someone who is disadvantaged to come into your life and destroy and implant a seed of poverty, and your total life that you created through God's eyes is destroyed. Well, my favorite thing is that little talk that God had with the devil. God told the devil, "You can take anything from my child. You can do whatever you want to him, but you're not going to kill him," right? That hits on so many levels that only you can grasp at your level of consciousness. So if you don't grasp it at a higher level right now, months, years from now, you'll be able to understand it. Hope always accompanies us that survives these disappointments and carries us through. I was teaching back in 2019 to never be disappointed in other people. You know, I really don't like the word disappointment. It's clarity, it's awareness, you know. And when you've been studying humans at a doctor's level in the psych hospitals, and you get called not to study in the hospital but study general psychology, So we can out rule HIPAA while we're studying general psychology with what is not deemed abnormal first, because you have a certification as a master to do human research. Disappointments, there's no such thing as disappointments. It's revelation of where God is in other people's life. Now the thing is, everybody view God differently. Sometimes God is a system that gave them money. Sometimes God is a person, you know. It is what you identify your most high with, you know. God may be guidelines. God might be policies and procedures, you know. It depends on where walk of life you come from. I can speak this in Latin. I can speak it in Creole French. I can speak it in Hebrew, you know. I have begun learning various other languages because I've always been in other cultures, you know. Sometimes it's upsetting when you do have to cultural switch, code switch, you know. Nothing is a disappointment, it's a revelation. It is hope that both tends to our now and shines a light forward on what is yet to come. So, what is that? A revelation, right? So, it's like, okay, why do I even have to feel the energy of disappointment? It's because it's the behaviors that others want you to be in. They want to see you in pain because they've been in pain. Why did God not make you suffer like I had to suffer? You know? You know? I've never had to be in rooms where the only way people can identify other people is by how they look. That's not a disappointment. That's a revelation of where someone's consciousness is. So you see how I gave you that example? Even acknowledging a disappointment. I love when people tell me to shut up, you know? It's like, who is that telling you to shut up? That's a linguistic that they can only use at their level of consciousness. A real man, a real woman would never tell anyone to shut up. Your perspective is very intriguing, right? Tell me more. It's like people need for you to be toxic, they need for you to grow up. You know, the main people saying, oh, you need to grow up are the people that stole from you. Now we need you to grow up. All that stuff that you got by working your butt off, all that material, I need for you to grow up, right? I need you to grow back in material so you can prove to me where God is in your life. Grow up. You mean show me in your eyes how grown I am? Those are the type of people that you should not ever spend time with, getting to know. Anybody saying, oh, they won't grow up, I could never, as a mom, I could never, as someone who was raised by amazing people, I could never sit there and tell somebody to grow up. I'm a how can I help person. How can I help? God, where do you need me to help at? I've done charity since I was a freaking kid. Junior high, middle school. I don't know how not to do charity. I don't do it because I want to be seen. I've never been a type of person where I want to be seen. I just do my thing, right? And I just enjoy doing my thing. And whoever enjoys me doing my thing and wants to enjoy joining in and collaborating, then we're enjoying us doing our thing. Or maybe I should put it in a more sweeter terminology so it's soothing to the ears, so others won't judge in low level vocabulary words. I love intellectual conversations. If I'm not learning in a conversation, I don't even want to have the conversation. Every night before I go to bed, I'm like, okay, what did I learn from this day? Your perspective, your thoughts are valuable. What empowered you to even think like that? If you got millionaire friends, why your millionaire friends won't give you money to help you out? This is a very enjoyable research design that I created that I have to experience before I teach it. Who am I to teach something that I haven't experienced? That would be a false teaching, right? That would be false doctrine, right? I heard somebody say to Girl, I'm gonna teach my new girlfriend. I'll make sure my new girlfriend have a master's degree. I'm like, oh, I am so grateful to be the inspiration that you're gonna make sure your girlfriend gets a master's degree. I am grateful to inspire you to get that done for your girlfriend. It was so amazing that they said, I was like, oh my God, that is amazing. Because that's what my ex did to me. You know, my ex made sure that I got a master's degree. And it wasn't even him that did that. But for somebody to trash talk me and say, oh, I'm going to make sure my girlfriend get a master. How was, I'm inspired. I'm grateful to inspire you to do so. I inspire women to do so. I've been teaching since I was 15. Cheer, gymnastics, and dance. I taught that until I was 22. Not a lot of people even know that. I taught that and worked at Sonic. I worked at McDonald's. I worked in a library. I worked at a hotel. I worked at New York and Company at the mall. I worked at call centers. I mean, I remember I used to walk to work, you know? I cleaned business offices. I worked at a real estate company doing project and property management. I actually created that for their company. They didn't have it. I was able to innovate it. During these times, I really miss my mentor. He was absolutely amazing. Him and his wife, he left behind a wife and 2 kids. They were so amazing. Beautiful people. So what I'm going through right now, it's not even my fight. All I did was show up. Where do you want me to show up? What do I need to do? Where do I need to sign? Who do I need to talk to? You know, I'm just trying to do a lot in this time. I shouldn't even be in this state. I should be in Georgia. But God is like, okay, I need you to tie up loose ends to make sure this is not where you want to lay down your roots. But then God is also like, I want to bless you right in front of the people that broke you. And trust me, they didn't break me. What, those materials? Just like I got materials before I got those, I can work my ass off and get some more, right? And I hate when people be like, oh, why don't you be a woman of God and not even curse? Well, aren't you cursing me by asking me to be a woman of God and not even curse? I'd rather be a woman of valor than a woman of God. Because a woman of valor, she'll go to war for God. and do whatever she has to do to show you she has God in her life. What is this woman of God? Oh, she doesn't cuss. Oh, she's nice, nasty. These are the same people that we don't need our children around. I'll raise my kids to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. It curses the demons in people. Then I taught my kid how to play stupid for smart reasons. My kids know how to play stupid for smart reasons. So if my kid is doing bad in class, I know for a fact that she don't like the teacher. Why would I keep my kid in a class when she's not having a good grade? She doesn't, it's not her, it's your teaching style. You can't teach. My kid's grade says you can't teach her. You might can teach another kid, but you can't teach her. She's not learning from your teaching styles. I'm not saying that you're a bad teacher. I'm just saying you're not a teacher for my child. She's not learning from your teaching style. She's not liking it. Both of my kids. I've always advocated for my children's education. I had people tell me, oh, your kid she has speech path problems. She's dyslexic. No. She's not. She doesn't like you. That's an evil tongue. She can't learn from a tongue that does evil. I don't even understand why I'm in. Who are you? You got a bachelor's degree, and I have a master's, working on a doctorate. I'm pretty sure my peers said that my kid don't have dyslexia or speech path problems. We need to put her on a computerized program because her teacher learning styles, teaching styles, isn't compatible with where her level of education is. If her mom is a master and a doctorate level, and you put them in a classroom of a bachelor, it trashes everything the mom teaches. That's basic. That's common sense. Now, if you have a mom that doesn't have an education, there's the difference. So if you have your kids in the public schools, I just explained to you the difference. Most teachers with master's degree and higher are at performing arts academies and private schools. Then we have all these teachers sad because they're not getting paid enough. Well, upgrade your education then. If I have to level up my education, so do you. And in fact, I can actually get a job being my kid's teacher. I can homeschool my kid. Give me the program, the curriculum, and I'll set it up in my home. I do have a master's degree. Give me the curriculum. I'll create a whole business for my kid and ask for grants from the government. People don't think like that. Can't nobody tell me shit about my kids I don't already know. I'm the only person who's going to advocate to the highest degree for my children. Then people got upset because I didn't want my kids getting immunity shots. Now, if you take a look at the news, they're trying to do away with immunity shots. Why is that? Because we don't freaking need them. But people with bachelor's degree tell those who don't have the education that they need them. Don't tell a master that her child needs them when the government who have doctors in them say, my kids don't need them. Here's a religious exemption if you need it. Here it is, my kid's dad finally gets a little bachelor's degree this past November. Now he wants to be a dad, to belittle my education, everything that I created. This was the perfect little setup. I've already had everything documented before you guys knocked on my door to destroy what I've done. Subpoena those records. Then they'll say, I don't know. It's good for you not to know. I'm trying to protect you. I'm tired of trying to protect people who could care less if I live or not. Out of sight, out of mind, right? I am laughing out loud at how my research just played out. And they're like, okay, because you're not in GCU, you owe this, people telling you your business. It's like, wow, I did get a certification of what a data management is. So now I'm having to observe you observing me, you know? It's like, oh, we got you shot up. Where? You're not shooting at me, you're shooting at a system. I just shot your whole system. It's like, oh my God. I'm just showing up to claim my victories these days. A lot of people is like, be careful who you are. The truth you're speaking is hate speech. That means you hate education. You hate educational literacy. I don't care who you are on my social media platforms. I've been raised in the NAACP since I was small. I was going to conferences in the state capitol as an NAACP youth. Then people get upset because you know your heritage. No, you're black. Your mom black, your dad black. Well, they're also uneducated too. They don't know their blood. They don't know their bloodline. They don't know their DNA. They didn't study their DNA. They don't have a credentialing for knowing and understanding our DNA and how we replicate that. They ain't never did DNA counseling. I mean, I literally had my mom and her people in her community tell me that I'm a liar because I know I'm Italian and Indian and black and even have the European in my blood. Please talk to my credential. The same one that says I can do DNA counseling. How can I do DNA counseling on other people if I can't do it on myself? You're black around us. We don't care. These people are too funny. I am never mad. I love those aha moments. Then people get mad because you're like, oh, you're Jesus. Just because people have not lived up to be who they wanted to be when they were younger doesn't mean you have to sacrifice who you wanted to be when you were younger. You literally have to become the hero that you needed as a child. I have always taught this to my daughter, both of them. You have to become the hero you needed as a child. Why you have to become childlike to enter the kingdoms of God. Become the hero to which you needed as a child. It says it in the Bible. You have to become childlike. And then you have these people saying you need to grow up. No, I need to be childlike. That's what the Bible says. To enter the kingdoms of God, right? They didn't like that instruction. We don't like these teachings, so we're not going to follow them. Let us go find some other type of teachings. I mean, it was getting to a point where I needed my kid to translate what people were saying. I didn't even know what my mom and my sisters were saying, and I grew up with them. I'm like, London, translate. Eris, what they say? Then they get upset because my kid don't really like to talk in her higher self when they're around them. My kids are not themselves when they're around them. They're who they want them to be at that particular time. So they can say, no, Brittany, that's not Brittany's fault. I'm pretty sure I know my children. I birthed them. I birthed little masters. I birthed little doctors. And shoot, if they want to be that, I birthed millionaires. You don't want to go to school? Okay, let's find you a trade where it's going to make you some millions. I'll sign off on it. Don't fuck with me and my kids. One thing I don't play about my kids. You know, too many people have had too much fun time, you know? And I love talking to you guys about it. These people are way too funny. Let me grow up by freaking writing down the clinical experience. Not even them can stop me from becoming a doctor. You can only waste my time because that's all you know how to do, right? You only know how to do the system that you've been doing for years, right? Well, my system was working until it collided with your system. Now, if my system was downgraded, then I don't like your system because that means your system is a downgrade to what I had going on. I tell people all the time, It's a blessing to be in my own presence. It's like I became a master overnight and people just learning it. I've been having so much fun raising my kids, going to school and working like I was taught. Putting God first, God, head of household, right? Fuck out of here, God. But yeah, so I told you guys I was gonna come spend some time with you before I go to bed. Thank you for allowing me to ramble with you guys. I love how you love me just coming on and talking to you and not having any topics just to go off of the dome. Because I dropped so much knowledge, just utilizing the experience that I went through. I've told you guys I'm an open book. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I give you all my experience, my failures. You got to fail to succeed. I have never aimed to be someone who thought they were better. Take a look where I came from. Yes, I do think I'm better. In fact, I can be better than what I am right now. The person that I am right now, I created that person. And the person that I am right now is also creating a better version of myself. Read my first book, Fire and Desire. My second book, Put Your Play Clothes On. The third one, La Maison Royale. It's a 21-day mindfulness journey. My fifth one, Roman Cicero. And my sixth, with Cesare. It's about a place in the Bible that Jesus was speaking. This next book, it's going to be unfuckwittable. I don't aim to be the most successful. If I'm not impactful, I'm not a success. I'd rather cuss up a storm and you get my message than for you to leave and not receive a message at all. Who am I but an instrument for God? If you don't receive the message, then God will send someone to deliver the message for you in order for you to receive. Sometimes the message isn't for you. Sometimes it's a message for you to give the next person. And then when you give that next person that message, that person is whom God sent. Never outshine the master. That's rule number 1. I learned that so long ago. If you're not learning, you're not growing. Much love.